Heather Urwiller. I'm Planning and Zoning Director here in the City of Tarpon Springs. I've been doing this for probably about 15 years. I'm certified and I have a master's degree in urban and regional planning. The best time for a tenant to come is before they sign their lease, when we can talk to them about, one, what their use is and what their plans are for the space, how they're going to break the space up, what they plan to do with that space, and how that fits in with our zoning scheme to make sure that it meets all of the requirements of our planning documents. It also helps us if we have incentives or things depending upon where they're developing in town. So having a friend in the planning department helps because we touch all the other departments in the city. So if they have an issue in the utilities or if they have an issue with building, we can try to help address those areas with them and kind of shepherd them through the process. So I would say as early as the tenant can possibly come to the planning department, and the planning department is probably the best person for you to go to because they're usually the most knowledgeable, because planning is all about information. It's all about processing information and data and getting people to where they need to go and moving through the permitting process. What's allowed in a particular zone, each particular property that you're interested in looking at has some type of zoning districts, and each zoning district is going to have specific restrictions on what uses are allowed and what uses aren't allowed. Basically have rules on where things can go as far as how much distance you need between certain businesses that sell alcohol and, say, a school or a park. Just having somebody in the planning department be able to explain that to you, that, yeah, your use isn't allowed here, and you may want to look at, this zone or that zone. You may want to look on a different street than you may be on simply because the zoning district may or may not allow the particular use that they're asking about. Many times things like signage, how much signage I can have, what type of signage I can have, a variance to that where you can ask for more signage. My particular community doesn't allow for additional signage to be asked for through the variance process, but we work very hard with our tenants to try to value their need for advertising and balance that against the need for the environment around them to be organized in a way where it's not cluttered and people can find where they're trying to get to. You just want to be really thinking on a holistic scale. A lot of communities provide pre-application meetings, which I would encourage anybody to attend those pre-application meetings. Our particular community here provides a step above a pre-application meeting where we have a technical review team that reviews almost every application that comes in, which helps people understand what the rules are and where the pitfalls might fall. It also gives them a face and a name to connect with if they have a specific question in that particular department. And we found that has been a very helpful tool. That much of the world has become a digital world. And so as a result of that, we can reach far more people with information if we have those tools on our website. This city, our particular city, and a lot of cities and counties in Florida belong to the Muni Code system, and they provide all of their county codes and city codes up on the system. Our particular land development code is up there and available. Our comprehensive plan, while it's not supported by Muni Code, is supported on our website. So there's tools and tricks that you always need to know. You're always going to want to go to the municipality's website first as your first stop. And then you can always look them up on Muni Code. You go by the state, and then you go by the county, and you go by the city's name, and you can look up the information that they have there. Codes can be kind of difficult to understand, so that's why it's really helpful when you can find somebody in the planning department to kind of help you understand what those particular codes mean, but they're available and they're out there. We've recently, in the last few years, started working on online permitting. We're moving forward with the attempt to try to get more and more available online. We actually have an online portal where you can look up information on old building permits and old code enforcement cases and old planning information as far as what was in a plaza in the past and that type of thing, which helps a lot for folks who are looking to do zoning research and that type of thing. It also helps to start as early as possible, give as much lead time as you possibly can, and don't sign a lease until you've met with the planning and zoning department at the very least, so that you know what the rules are and whether your business is going to work in a particular location.